Hello and welcome to Eris Solutions. I will be showing you the employee enrollment process for becoming a caregiver with Veteran-Directed Care, also known as VDC. We will go through the forms that will need to be completed to become a caregiver within VDC. Let's begin. The first page of the packet shows all the forms needing to be returned to Eris. Also on the first page is our contact information, mailing address, fax number, toll-free number and Veteran Department email. These are all monitored daily during our regular business hours. On our Welcome to Veteran Direct Care page, you will see an overview of Veteran-Directed Care and a listing of what Eris provides as the financial management services provider. In order to begin employment, you must pass all background checks and be authorized to work in the United States. The contact information page is for you to keep, ensuring you have a copy of our contact information and hours of operation on hand. The program integrity and fraud prevention pages are important to understanding how to protect the veteran from risk and exploitation. As a mandatory reporter, you are obligated to report any fraud or abusive activity to the Area Agency on Aging, the VA and/or Eris Solutions. The background check exclusions page is a listing of exclusions that would not warrant employment through Veteran-Directed Care. The employee confirmation of receipt asks you to sign off stating you understand your responsibility in terms of reporting fraud and abuse, in addition to understanding the employment exclusions list. This form is kept in your electronic personnel file stored at Eris Solutions on behalf of your employer of record. Let's move on to HIPAA and Protected Health Information, also known as PHI. As an employee within VDC, you are bound to confidentiality and privacy of the veterans and/or the employer of record's protected health information. There may even be instances while caring for the veteran that you are asked to disclose PHI, and you may do so in situations where medically it may be necessary. However, if you feel that releasing the PHI is not for the benefit or well-being of the veteran and violates their privacy, then you are not to disclose that information and need to alert all appropriate parties. We ask that you sign a statement that illustrates you understand confidentiality and the privacy agreement. For this form to be complete, a witness will need to be present during your signature and they will need to sign off as well. The next part of the packet is for information gathering. We will start with the employee hiring notice. Please fill out all fields so we can properly document your demographic information. We will move on to the relationship disclosure form. This form can cause confusion. If you are related to your employer of record, then you check off the Yes section. If you are not related to your employer, check off No and move on to the next page. If you are related, you as an employee are required to accept certain exemptions per the IRS based on the type of relationship you hold with the employer. An example is if you are a spouse to your employer. That exemption means you as an employee are not liable for Social Security and Medicare taxes, and the employer is not liable for their match for those taxes. As a new caregiver with VDC, remember these key responsibilities. Next is the Fair Labor Standards Act, FLSA, Live-In Exemption, LIE, form. The United States Department of Labor and FLSA Fair Labor Standards Act requires household employers to pay employees for hours worked over 40 hours per workweek unless the employee qualifies for an exemption. An employee qualifies for the live-in exemption if any one of the following is true. Live with the participant 7 days a week, meaning they do not have another home. Live, work, and sleep in the participant's home at least 5 days per week, e.g., 120 hours per week or more. Live, works, and sleeps in the participant's home for at least 5 days in a row per week, or for at least 5 nights in a row per week, if the total weekly hours in the home are less than 120. The form requires the employee to check a box determining if they qualify for the exemption. Yes, if the employee qualifies for the live-in exemption. No, if the employee does not qualify for the live-in exemption. Both the employee and employer must sign the document stating their agreement on the qualifications for the exemption. The next page is an authorization form needed in order to run the proper background checks on behalf of your employer. If you do not want to receive a paper check for payroll, then please fill out this direct deposit form. If you do not have a bank account, we do offer a pay card option that acts like a debit card. Once you receive and activate it, you will begin receiving your funds directly deposited to that card. In this video, we are using the Maine Employee Enrollment Packet as our sample. But if you are not in the state of Maine, then the state version of the W-4 form would be inserted here as applicable. If the state W-4 form is not complete, then your state withholding will default to what is on the federal W-4 form. Instructions to the form are included here as well. If your state does not have its own state withholding certificate, then again, your state withholding will default to the federal withholding form designations. The federal W-4 is next. Please fill in Step 1, then 2, 3 and 4, if applicable, and sign in Step 5. Please review Step 4 to see if it pertains to you. We have included the W-4 instructions, with the worksheet and applicable tax table to help you. However, we are not tax accountants and cannot inform you of how to fill out your withholding certificate. We are payroll agents that can guide you through understanding the form, but we are unable to make recommendations on how to fill out your W-4. We will now move on to the I-9 form. This form establishes employment eligibility through the Department of Homeland Security. Both the employee and employer will need to partake in completing this form. Section 1 is employee information and signature. Section 2 is employee documentation, employer verification of that documentation and employer signature once those documents are validated. Documents provided for your employer to review need to be unexpired. The information on the chosen ID must be written onto the I-9 in the appropriate location. A copy of the documentation is not required to be sent with the packet. We have included the lists of acceptable documents here. These last few pages are to assist in timesheet submission. A separate timesheet video is available on our website to show you how to fill out a timesheet, in addition to how to submit it. That is the extent of the employee enrollment packet. Submission of the packet can be sent by United States Postal Service, fax or scanned and sent to the veteranpayroll@rssolutions.org email address provided. We hope this video was helpful. Thank you for joining us today and have a great rest of your day.